Beats Planet.
Man. First of all, shouts out to everybody here. Shouts out to all those that are tapped in across different parts of the internet. Love y'all to pieces. Appreciate y'all for being here. Just in case there are any new people here that don't know the rules, shouts out to all the essential workers at the Blue Flame, by the way. Just in case there are people here that don't know the rules. Now, when we win, boy, we don't just give analysis, boy. We come in and we celebrate and we go crazy and we set up the phones. That's me checking on my Bleach Report to make sure we good. And we set up the phones and let y'all call in and we drink water and we listen to music. Somebody said, yo, Voch, we setting up the phones today? I be damn. Hey, let me tell you something. Just in case you new here, I know some people in the chat know exactly what vibes I'm on. Some people in the chat know exactly how the rest of this show about to go. If you tuned in for our last two skirmishes, whether that's Bleach Report side, Voch side, volume side, Voch side, Bleach Report, cool. In case you were here for our last two skirmishes, when we went live or whatever for the Giants and the Jets game, those streams was about 1 hour 30, 2 hours long. Because when we win, you know what I mean? We just party a little bit. Bleach Report and volume have me down for 30 minutes. I go an hour because I like to be a little extra, you know what I'm saying? Because I love y'all to pieces. In a losing effort, we are going 30 minutes. And that's it. You're lucky if you get more than that, you hear me? Let me just address one thing before we get started. You know what I'm talking about? Let me just address something before we get started. All this week, and look, I appreciate y'all for tuning into my show and leaving comments and believing in what I have to say. all this week, everybody you've ever heard break down football and analyze it had the Cowboys beating the Cardinals. Everybody did. And I'm glad some people hold me up here. Like, they take my word for way up here. I'm blown away by that. Appreciate you. Love you to pieces. So why they cut virtual hug and all that? You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that some people think highly of me. But everybody had Dallas Cowboys winning here. The one thing y'all not about to do is say I jinxed the Cowboys because I had them over winning. I ain't jinxed that. Y'all not finna come here and say I jinxed the Cowboys. Grow up, okay? Grow up. Voch, you should have took the Cardinals more serious. They should have took the Cardinals more serious. Hey, man, I got pros and cons on both sides of the ball. I am terribly upset at this L that my Dallas Cowboys took. My offense didn't look that great in certain places. My defense didn't look that great at all. I'm going to talk to all y'all about it today. I'm going to start my clock today. This is a new thing that we're doing here for the show. I'm putting myself on clock game because if we'd have won, we'd have just streamed until I got so sleepy that I just fell asleep. You know what I mean? Not today, though. I'm setting my timer for 30 minutes. I'm not even going to waste y'all time tonight because I know we going to bed early tonight. We gonna have a little supper. We going to bed early tonight and get ready for work. I'm gonna give y'all this good 30 minutes of analysis. All right, y'all good? All right, let's get into it, man. Boy, Cowboys did good today.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it.
Woo.
Not this time.
Hey.
No, not this time.
I should play the whole shit. Hey.
Pure fiction.
I should play the whole thing, man, but I'm not gonna do that. Also, one more thing before we get started. Some housekeeping. I'm resetting the time. Zach Golston's jersey giveaway. We have 2 winners for it. Shouts out to Joe Sandberg and Special K. They both followed the rules. Everybody didn't follow the rules necessarily, but they followed the rules. And Joe got it because 5 other people didn't answer my DM or whatever. You know what I mean? So y'all might have won, but if y'all find my message now and thought y'all won, hey, you didn't win. Don't worry about it. But Special K, Joe Sandberg, y'all win the Zach Golston jersey giveaway. Joe won a Terrence Steele Color Rush jersey, and I believe Special K won like a Micah Parsons jersey, something like that. So appreciate you, Zach Golston. I know you ain't watching because you don't want nothing to do with this, dog. You don't want nothing to do with this. All right, here we go. Let's get started. Let's get started. Yo, Chef keep texting me. Yo, son, stop texting me. Stop before I block you. All right, man, let's get started. We got time going. Pros and cons on both sides, okay? Let me tell you how we kind of going to do this. On the offense, there were pros and there were cons, pluses and negatives. On defense, there was just negatives.
Did you hear what I said?
But we'll talk about that, all right? We'll kind of start with the defense, okay? Because there's less to say about them. I was blown away by how not like my defense looked. And I understand, and you know, maybe it was, I don't know, man. Maybe it was like trade, you know. And this ain't me making excuses, man. Shouts out to Arizona Cardinals, they fans, they staff, their record labels, and their crews. This ain't me making excuses. This is me just simply trying to make sense out of this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they fell flat because of the whole like emotional behind Trey situation or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know, but they stopped the run solid. I don't want to say that neither because they gave up big plays all over the place. You know, they couldn't get home in the pass rush department. They did a spotty job stopping the run. They stopped the run fine other times, but then the big plays is what got you in the run game. And then there were the big plays in the passing game. I feel like when you have Trey and Gilmore, you can play man everywhere. You can play cover 1, cover 0 everywhere. You can't play cover 1, cover 0 with Jordan Lewis and Deron Bland. Now we're gonna watch the film and we're gonna have a conversation about this. And I don't even know what we're gonna be looking at film wise this week, because it's just such a terrible loss. Might not even do film this week, but we just gave up so many big plays in the passing game, And Josh Dobbs ain't like that for real, man. I mean, they got a pretty good scheme in Arizona. They got a pretty good offensive scheme, but Josh Dobbs ain't like that to be dotting you up like that. It was just, we couldn't cover. We would lose guys in coverage. Those would result in big plays, and your pass rush just couldn't get home. You know what I'm saying? And you would think that, you know, they was just getting rid of the ball like extra fast. Nah, like they had some time in the pocket to get there. You know what I mean? Now, I don't want to speak too much on what was going on up front. You know, let me watch the film, and I'll definitely get back to you. But you lean on this pass rush. Even when, you know, whether Trey Diggs playing for you or not, you lean on pass rush. Even more that Trey Diggs is gone, you lean on pass rush. So when your pass rush not going, of course there's opportunities downfield. Now, I don't think DaRon Bland's not a bad player. DaRon Bland's not a bad player, but none of us can expect, and look, we all think highly of DaRon Bland, but we can't just expect him to beat Trey Diggs and just, all right, I'm on you, nothing's gonna happen. All right, I'm on you, fella, and you're just not gonna catch nothing.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it.
That's not the case here. You know, maybe you and I don't want to be blasphemous and critique Dan Quinn of anything, because I do believe in player execution. But maybe you can't leave your guys on islands like you can Trey. You know, maybe DaRon Bland works better with the two-way go. I don't want to speak too egregiously. Let me watch film to better qualify my opinion. Then I can come to y'all and have a conversation about it. But just early on, what it looks like, what it felt like, it looked and felt like we just couldn't cover them dudes one-on-one, you know? And maybe because Arizona got all like slot guys, you know what I mean? All little bitty quick dudes, you know, Hollywood Brown, Rondale Moore, Michael Carter. You know, maybe because they just got little bitty folk across the board that maybe we had a hard time like sticking with them. But that's why you lean on 11. That's why you lean on 90 and 97 in those guys, right? But I just didn't see it from them. In the Patreon, we're going to break down D-line and really see what happened and why we got blocked up front. We knew that the tackles were a little more solid. Humphreys and Paris Campbell. We knew that they were more solid. But if anything, we felt like they could take advantage of the guards in the center because I didn't feel like they were very good. But hey, shouts out to the Cardinals. They did a fantastic job of blocking us up front. The Michael Carter Wilson. The Michael Wilson play. Isn't Michael Wilson? Stanford kid, the wide receiver, right? That one big play at the end of the game where he just was wide the hell open. I have no clue what happened on that play, or any Hollywood Brown play, or any Rondale Moore play. Like, it's just not like us. And when I say us, I mean the defense. Like them, we don't go out there and play. I mean the defense. It's not like our defense to give up big plays. Like, they gave up 28 points to the Cardinals. And I understand that they beat us, and you know, y'all can tap me on the show, like, yeah, but Voch, they won. Yeah, they won, but that's the Cardinals. We ain't supposed to be. We're supposed to play like the best team in the league. I will say, you know, if there's any side of the ball I trust with leadership and shit like this to happen, it'll be the side with 90, 11, 1. I know y'all kind of hating on Van Der Esch right now, but 55, right? Van Der Esch, if anything, is a good leadership type. If anything, you can count on those guys to take this ass whooping and like wake up from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cute to drop 40 on Giants and it's cute to drop 30 on Jets. And you maybe possibly feel yourself a little bit and you come out flat. You don't have as much juice as you thought you was going to come out with. You know what I'm saying? But if this is a game where you had to get punched in the mouth to really feel, you know what I'm saying, to really get back on your shit, to get ready for Belichick because it ain't getting no easier than this. It ain't getting, like, you got Carolina later in the year, but you got Belichick and them next, San Fran after that, Chargers after that. You got your bye week, which you're gonna need for these goofy ass injuries or whatever. Rams, Eagles, you know, a couple of games with Giants and you know, it just gets tougher from there. You know what I'm saying? Philly again, Seahawks, Bills, Lions, Dolphins. So we're gonna run against some heavy offenses. And this is as easy as it's gonna get. right? So if you want to have a weird little game where you do goofy shit and you play like not yourself, now is the best time to do it. No, I don't think we need to go out and make a trade for somebody. No, I don't think we need to go out and sign some dude from the street that's supposed to come in to be Trey Diggs again. Nah, that's not the case. It wasn't, because look, like I said, right? I said this on my volume show, and for my people on Bleach Report, I do a show on YouTube, Voch Lombardi, type it in, I'm on the volume. It's not Cowboys versus Cardinals here. It's Cowboys versus their last performance. And the Cowboys are such a talented team. You're going to hear me say that a bunch. Like moving forward or whatever, you're going to hear me say it a lot. Like this is Cowboys versus our last performance. Right? And we lost that battle. We lost. I mean, you know, I don't expect Cardinals to win a whole bunch of more games this year, but they can at least look at Dallas and be like, hey, we beat Dallas. You know what I'm saying? But they beat Dallas because Dallas shot themselves in the foot multiples of times with their blown coverage. Also, I think another thing too that we can lean on and just kind of talk about is the idea that, you know, you get so down in this hole and you lean on this idea that we're Cowboys defense. We're Cowboys pass rush. Let me go play hero ball right now. And you can't do it. You can't do it. Even as pass rush, even Micah Parsons, we can't do it. We can't play hero ball to where we're jumping off sides. We're running out of our rush lanes. We're over pursuing or if D-Law gets a wide open hit on Dobbs or whatever, we overrunning it because we trying to do a little too much. You know what I'm saying? We can't have stuff like that, you know? So if anything, it's a long season. It's a long season. I know my chat going crazy with a lot of little nonsense like that, but I'm not reading. I know how y'all get. Let me look at Bleach Report. Cause look, my audience is a little more tame because they've been dealing with me for years or whatever. My YouTube audience, they typically operate the same kind of way I operate because if, you know, I get too optimistic, they'll leave. This old voucher homer, I'm leaving, right? But my Bleach Report audience, I don't know what this about to look like. Yeah, there's a lot of hating on Dak. I ain't finna read Bleach Report neither. All right, cool. But yeah, I hope my Cowboys defense gets much better, man. Gets much better. Also, kicking teams, right? We had penalties on defense. We had penalties on, trust me, I'm getting to the offense. We had penalties on kicking teams, man. I didn't see Wanye line up offsides. I ain't see it. If any of y'all saw it, please let me know if you saw it. But I didn't see Wanye line up offsides. I think it was a lot of ticky-tack penalties too. With the whole, like, Turpin had a big run back today. Turpin had a huge run back today, but that was brought back from a Devin Harper like holding penalty or something that I think was nonsense or whatever. So, you know what I mean? So cool. Marcus Smith says, you are so lame for thinking this team is talented. Marcus. Let's not play that game, sir. Hey, look, we only got 30 minutes in the show. I'll make 8 of them about you, dog. Come on, man. you here watching me, cut. Anyway, moving on. Let's see at least what Bleach Report is saying. Red Dart is laughing, says 45 million for Dak. Red Dart's in the Bleach Report side. I can't laugh at him. Hey man, shouts out to Bart Scott. Shouts out to Bart Scott. Bart Scott said nobody called him lame, and the internet called him lame for an hour. Oh, dog, hilarious. Let's see. Tatanka says, man, what just happened? Hey, I know, dog. Slock says Dak is low key a problem now. We'll have a conversation about that. Big Ye from the East says you are a Dak D writer. Pause. First of all, and I ain't say nothing about Dak. I've been talking about the defense for the past 10 minutes. That's why I don't read comments. Anyway, let's talk about the defense, right? Let's talk about some positives, and then I'm going to really lean into the negatives on offense or whatever. I can't really talk about this positive without getting I can't talk about this positive without getting into the negatives. But Tony Pollard ran the ball really well. Early it was a bit tough, but I feel like that's kind of the point of run game. Like, you start off and it may be tough to run the game, but you keep running the ball and the run gets a little better. I feel like that's the case. So towards the end of the game, like, Tony started going crazy running the ball, right? And then I can't talk about this without talking about the negatives. We learned, I mean, we didn't learn, we knew this, but Chuma Edoga leans on people moving forward. He's a solid run blocker moving forward. But we'll just talk about him later or whatever, the whole Chuma thing. But Tony Pollard, I'll talk about Mike McCarthy later, I promise. But Tony Pollard was a guy that when you actually gave him the football, he was it was a thing. It was a thing, right? Like Tony did fine. And then towards the end of the game, when time was a factor, we started running the ball and when we needed to save time. It was a bit strange there. But I think Tony had a pretty solid day. He rushed for 100 yards, but I think it's about when you give the ball to Tony. But we'll have that conversation or whatever. But Michael Gallup finally got going. And I text Will Steele and I was like, I think we should start using, and this is post ACL Gallup. I think we got to use post ACL Gallup like old Dez Bryant. Remember old Dez Bryant when he kind of slowed down a little bit and all we could do was kind of throw bubbles and slants and let him muscle people. That's all we could really do. And then we'll just throw like a jump ball at him here or there and he'll most likely come down with it. I think that's the new role for Gallup here. I was in this chat with some fantastic people talking football over the weekend, some top tier football minds over the weekend. We was talking about Michael Gallup and we were pondering the idea that maybe that this system isn't a good fit for Michael Gallup. And I think that is the case, right? And I think this game was kind of one of those make it or break it for Gallup, right? To where, all right, Gallup, if you don't get going, we about to start using Jalen Tobin and shit. And so hey, hurry up, come on, Gallup. We was waving our finger at Michael Gallup. But Gallup had a hell of a day. And we use Gallup like you would think you would use Gallup. You would use him as a yak guy. You would use him as a big muscle run through somebody guy, and you would use him as a jump ball guy. Like that's what we use Gallup for. So if we use him like that moving forward, cool, perfecto. And my last plus. And that's only because I only wanted to do 3 pluses, but like Hunter Lipke got involved. Rico Dowdle did some fantastic things in the past game. We run the screens now. That's going to be a fun thing to touch on. I don't know how the whole offensive line did. We're going to watch that on Patreon this week. I really want to see what Tyler looked like at left guard and what Terrence looked like at right tackle. Everything else was all young dudes. And I'm a fan of TJ Bass. I would love to see what TJ Bass looked like at right guard. There's one elephant in the room in terms of offensive line, so we'll cross that road whenever we get there. But we'll just do it like that. But Brandon Aubrey, chat, we got a kicker. Chat. And this was something that we just kind of worried about a little bit. You know what I mean? Like where are we gonna be able to have a kicker? Are we gonna hold on, time out. Boom. Sniped your goof ass. All right. So Brandon Aubrey, right? Like I have gained faith in Brandon Aubrey as our kicker. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be situations like this in the future with this offense, right? Because this offense ain't always gonna be prolific looking, right? There's gonna be times we just gonna need field goals. We just gonna need 3 points. You know what I'm saying? It's just bound to happen. And I didn't feel confident about our kicker situation. Maher playing for, I think, the Rams or something like that. I didn't feel comfortable in our kicking situation. Most of our points came from kicking. Came from our kickers this week, or from our kicking situation from Brandon Aubrey this week. So, my last plus, I'm giving that to Brandon Aubrey. Now, let's shit on the rest of this offense let's see. Let's shit on this offense for the duration of this. I tried to mix duration and remainder. I said deranger. That's a car. For the duration of this stream, let me just shit on my offense. 13 minutes, easy. I'll start here. So in that chat box with that I was talking in this week with those prolific football people, right? We also had a conversation about offensive line configurations, right? We were saying, I wonder, I just cut the music off. I wonder, could we go Awesome Richards, Tyler Smith, rest of the offensive line? Can we go Tyler Smith at left tackle? Like, Awesome Riches at guard or TJ Bass at guard, maybe. Chuma Edoga at guard, possibly. I know TJ Bass taking reps at center. Can we play TJ Bass at center, maybe? Possibly. It was a lot of configurations that we thought about. Set it off, Chris. What's happening, dog? Not today. Call me tomorrow, bro. It was a lot of configurations that we could have gone on with this offensive line. Let me tell you something, chat. I listen to a lot of smart people talk football. That group chat that I was in, fantastic group of people to sit and talk football with. You know what combination we never thought was a good idea? We never assumed that Chuma Edoga at left tackle, Tyler Hoffman, Bass, Steele. We never thought leading with Chuma Edoga at left tackle was the answer. Not one time. So, Chad, tell me why. Because I like to feel like I'm a qualified football person. I mean, you know, just humbly respectful. I like to feel like I can kind of talk football a little bit. You know what I mean? There's going to be some people in the chat that disagree, but, you know, y'all watch. But when we were in training camp and Chuma Edoga played tackle, they marched Chuma Edoga out there at tackles. It was his job to be swing tackle guy. And Micah started whooping him, and I was like, all right, that's cool. That's Micah. And D-Law started whooping him. I was like, all right, that's cool. That's D-Law. And Sam started whooping. I'm like, okay, that's Sam Williams. It's fine. And Dorn started whooping. I said, hey, look, Dorrance ain't whooped a whole bunch of people, but at least Dorrance got 9 sacks last year. I get it. And Dante and some of the undrafted kids and Isaiah Land started whooping him. I said, okay. And before you know it, Chuma ass started playing guard. Didn't y'all remember that? I reported that per Voch Lombardi. I was there at camp. Y'all remember that? I was like, all right, cool. Chuma Edoga. Chuma Edoga. Line up at guard. And I still ain't feel great about Chuma Edoga playing at guard. But Chuma Edoga at least proved to me that he can play guard. These last couple games, he's proved to me that he can play guard. But that motherfucker did not prove that he could play tackle. Just 2. That's it. He did not prove to me that he could play tackle. He didn't. So I don't know what the coaching staff thought here, but they rolled Chuma Edoga ass out there at tackle. And for 3 drives in a row, Chuma Edoga did his best impression of getting Dak Prescott killed. And hey, drive number 4 was a fantastic time to get Chuma Edoga up out of there. But they didn't. After halftime was a fantastic time to get Chuma Edoga up out of there. They did not. They did not. And after Dak started running around, and after Dak got hit a couple times, and after Chuma Edoga was letting Zaven Collins whoop him, and Zaven ain't really whoop a whole bunch of people for real, but he started letting Zaven Collins whoop him, and then there was the holding penalty. Hey, y'all think Chuma did a little better after that?
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication.
Fabrication. Chuma Edoga didn't get better the whole, but you know what happened? We started running the football. And Chuma Edoga was solid in the run game. We knew that. We knew Chuma Edoga could lean forward on people because he was a little heavier. But boy, Chuma Edoga going backwards? Terrible idea. Now, maybe they just didn't want to make the change in game. But if Tyron can't play next week and we roll up against Belichick now, let's just say Matt Judon or something over there. Because this shit cute when it's Zaven Collins or whatever, but when Matt Judon or something, like a gangster out there, or Nick Bosa or something, or Khalil Mack or something, or Joey them, or just pick a guy, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be cute then. Hopefully 77 get his ass back out there, or I'm perfectly fine with just switching the 2. I know Tyler Smith can play tackle. I know Chuma Edoga can play guard. I don't know what we doing here. I was terribly upset. Whatever though. We was in the red zone a bunch. Didn't score a whole lot. That's facts.
It's fact.
That's facts. We didn't score a whole bunch. I wonder what was going on with Mike McCarthy this game. There were some plays. I'll at least cut my music back on. No, I'm not. I wonder what's going on with the offensive play call in this game. Sometimes, you know, we was dinking and dunking when we probably should have been attacking vertical. Other time, we was throwing the ball vertical directly into coverage. We was passing the ball. We probably should have been running the football because there was this stint in the middle of the game where we could have just run the football. Tony was at like 6 yards per carry at some point. And we didn't just run the football out. We just threw the football. Then there was this point to where they was biting down on all the short stuff. And I was like, they biting down on the short stuff. This is a fantastic time to throw the ball over the top of me. We did it a few times. And we succeeded a few times. Gallup, Lamb, almost got one with Cooks. And then we just stopped doing that. And we just started to hand the ball off again. And I just... Then towards the end of the game, when all right, we got to pass the ball now. And chat, I could be mistaken. But that last important drive of offense, it looked like we could throw the ball deep a little bit, intermediate to deep. It looked like we could actually pass the ball downfield a little bit. I'm like, all we had to do was just do the shit and it was going to happen? All we had to do was make the attempt and it's just going to happen. We just had to try it. Oh, we're sure running the ball fine, right? We just had to make the attempt and do it. We just had to run the ball and just make the shit happen. Then there was a point to where we would run the ball and it worked. And we would pass the ball at the right time and it'll work. Holding here, holding there, delay a game here, other little goofy shit here, Chuma Doga dying over here. You want to know something that kind of upset me a little bit? And I don't think it's fair to compare players to other players, because that's just, that ain't right. First of all, I don't like the call to throw the ball deep to CD, or not even deep, but just throw the fade to the back of the end zone, right? To CeeDee Lamb on the right side of the field, end of the game. I don't think it was the right call to do that. Voch would be trying to run the ball if it was me, but Voch ain't no coach. Voch ain't no coach. I'm just a dude on YouTube that y'all tuned into right now. I don't think the right play was back shoulder to CD, but hey, we running it, right? The one thing I don't want us to do, the one thing I don't think is good football, right? And we always talk about toughness and shit like that, right? The one thing I just don't think, is just good football. Real Dundada says Voch is not a coach. Used to be.
It's fact.
The one thing that's not good football is you play the penalty, right? Never play the penalty. Because when you play you may or may not get the penalty. Like you may or may not get the penalty. Dak did not make the throw.
It's false.
The throw was fine. The throw was fine. All CeeDee Lamb had to do was play the football. CeeDee Lamb didn't play the football. He played the penalty. Before he could even get his eyes on the football to make the attempt to catch it, the motherfucker he grabbed me, and he took himself out of the play. He took himself out of the play. I don't know, man. I think they're going to see it on film. They're going to try it out too. Also, in the red zone, it was like third down or something like that. The pass to Cooks over the middle that didn't get there, that was supposed to be a rub route. Brandon Cooks was supposed to run free. CeeDee Lamb was supposed to be your rub to get Brandon Cooks free guy. Lamb ran a little deep. Couldn't get there all the way. So I was like, small mistakes, man. Small mistakes. Like if you make one small mistake, it can have an impact on the game. But when you have tons of small mistakes on top of a ton of penalties, Can't win like that, man. Alex says, yo, Voch, you're over the 30-minute time limit. Right, I'm over the 30-minute time limit because I did the theme song, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to give y'all a little bit of time, you know what I'm saying? But trust me, when the alarm go off, I'm done. But hey, Cowboys got Belichick in them, Mac Jones in them next week. After that, Cowboys got San Fran. Hey, you got a long season. Hopefully the leadership on this team, hopefully they get shit right. If not, we getting Marvin Harrison. I'm playing. Chat, y'all got questions? Y'all got questions, chat? Actually, hold on. Boom. I got some supers. Let's see. We got some supers. Let's see, we got some supers. Today's the 24th. Appreciate y'all. We got a lot of supers. Let's see. Josh Rander Drop 5 says Stephen Jones just said Tyron Smith might not start. Okay, that was pregame. My bad. We read that. All right, here we go. Smick Ball dropped a dub and says, good evening, Voch. That was brutal and embarrassing. That was totally brutal and embarrassing. Okay, cool. That was brutal and embarrassing. Okay, cool. Team looked unprepared. Terrible plays in the red zone, and the O-line issues were not a problem after drive 1. I don't think the whole O-line did bad. I think Chuma Doga was terrible. But it is what it is. Appreciate you, brother. Cam Drive 5 says, hey, Voch, why do you think there's such a drop-off from last year when we were first in the league in red zone efficiency compared to the last 3 games? They got to figure it out. Appreciate you, my guy. Cole dropped the deuce and says, go Niners, overrated. Clap. Appreciate the deuce. Cole, we'll see you in week 5, sir. Dave Trevino dropped the deuce and says, do you think they weren't prepared? They made a lot of penalties, bro. Daniel DiBiase dropped the deuce, says, yo, Voch, is that a gold Daytona? Bow. Appreciate you, sir. Nick Ajax dropped the deuce and says, fire everyone. Salute. Appreciate you, sir. And then he dropped another 2 deuces. That's 6 altogether. He said, this is not a Super Bowl team. Fire everyone. You bought the Kool-Aid. I ain't got to play. Sir. I just do commentary. And Andrew Gerardo dropped the deuce, says 2022 Niners lost to the Broncos and the Bears. Hey, man. They ain't lose to the Cardinals, though. This one sucked, my guy. They did not lose to the Cardinals. Appreciate you, fam. Let's see. All right, Chef Mac dropped the deuce, says we beat ourselves. That's what it comes down to, for sure. Robert Ian dropped the deuce and says red zone offense is terrible. That's the clock? That's the clock? It's time to go? Time to go. All right, I'm going to read these supers to get the hell up out of here. Ninja Ajax dropped the 5 and says the blueprint is out there. Well, we're not going to have 100 yards and penalties, sir. And Chuma Doga, Brock Hoffman, and Tyler Bass aren't going to start all year, sir. So, nah. Relax. Appreciate you, though. Scarecrow dropped the deuce and says, do you think this loss hunts us like Jacksonville? Now, you know we're not allowed to talk about team shortcomings. Not named Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're not allowed to talk about what happened to the Broncos and the Jags here today. We just here to talk about us, or the Washington Football Wizards for that matter. We just here to talk about us. But you know how that go. S.J. Johnson dropped the deuce and says defense looked like 2020 Mike Nolan COVID year. Looked pretty bad. I'd agree. It looked pretty bad. And Titan Omega Music dropped a dime and says, all I'm gonna say is if I had a choice of losing to the Cards or losing by 50, giving up 70, I'm picking losing to the Cards. Well, I don't want neither of those. I don't want to lose by 50, 70, or lose to the Cardinals. Appreciate you, sir. And I got the volume. Then we're gonna get up out of here. We got volume chat. Then we're gonna get up out of here. Boom. Here we go. April Showers. What's up, Miss April? She dropped the deuce and says, Brandon Aubrey is the GOAT. Yes, he is. Billy the Kid dropped the deuce, then a 5. That's 7 altogether. He says Cowboys have not played any good teams this year. Oh, no. Then he came back with his 5 and says they didn't shoot themselves in the foot.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time.
You say so, bro. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot. They lost straight up. All right. Hey, look, you paid your fine. You can say what you want, dog. And Berserk. Okay, cool. Berserk dropped 5. It says Cooks was invisible. We can talk about Cooks. And Fergie can't separate. I think Fergie was fine. I think he made his catches, and I think he did some solid yak things. First and second round picks looking really helpful this year too. Should have went O-line. Luke had a drop for sure. Luke had a drop, and I would have to watch film to see how Mozzie did. So can't help it with that. Appreciate your player. Appreciate you, player. Chat. That's it. That's it, man. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. Y'all know we normally do these long shows, man, but you know, all on time out just for the Bleacher Report. I gotta answer a couple questions in the Bleacher Report here. I gotta read a couple comments in the Bleacher Report here. Let's see here. D Block says Dallas needs to trade for Pitts. All right, cool. That's enough. Hey, I love y'all to pieces, man. I'll be here tomorrow on YouTube on the Voch Lombardi side and the Volume VOCHLOMBARDI. As far as Bleach Report, I'll be doing the weekly pick'ems on Wednesday, and y'all will see me next week for the pre and post game show. We're not getting Kyle Pitts player. Y'all hold down for the Doski Woski Peace Weezy. Until next time, man. Let's bathe in this L that we know that national media is gonna have a field day with. Lay out a piece, man. Salute.